Like you were gonna, I watch you all the time. So I've never actually been like on a Zoom meeting with you. So I'm actually shocked that I am. I would have gotten on camera. So
That's okay.
kind of nervous. Okay. So, my whole thing is, like, cause I heard you talk before about single moms kind of like being kind of, I guess, under low value, I guess. So I guess I'm just trying to see basically where I fall. I do meet the criteria of being between, like a size 2. I'm actually like a 0.
Okay.
Very petite. And I had my son like at a very, very young age, like
Okay.
very young. And ever since then,
So basically,
yeah,
the question is, how does being were you married or unmarried?
obviously unmarried because I was
Okay, I don't.
underage.
Okay, well, so how does that affect your overall options? Now I'm going to say this because just because the likes are off, I'm going to go ahead and turn the light back on because, as usual, you're going to have a bunch of folks coming through here in their feelings. The like button still works, and guys,
Because since being an adult, obviously I'm not a dumb girl.
2,000 folks and
I
not one
graduated
person,
high
huh?
school early. I work in the IT
Well,
field.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then.
Mhm.
And your If name we don't have at least 10
is
people drop something in,
Yes.
do you? Let me go ahead and meet some of the other people.
Comes
so we
the
can
music.
Have a one-on-one.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you think it should impact?
I don't think so.
No. I'm saying, do you think
Shout
it
out,
should
Steve.
impact your value on the open market?
No, I don't, because I feel like I carry myself very well.
She said that even though she had a child early, that she does not believe it should impact her value on the open market because, shout out to Tony Davis, fam. Shout out to Steve as well. What's going on, folks? And this is what I've heard a lot of women say, that the sentiment along the lines of, I just have one child and it's like no big deal because I carry myself well and because I can afford to take care of my child, whether it's a son or a daughter, it's no big deal. And ladies, I need you to understand that could not be further from the truth. But as we kind of go into this, I need you guys to listen to just kind of how lightly she talks about it.
Up with myself. I constantly work out.
So I need you.
I wish I could show you a picture of me.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I get it. There are some very attractive women, but
Yes.
what you're basically saying is,
Go ahead and hit the like
I don't
button.
think that the fact that I reproduced and made a life with another man should impact any of my options with men, period.
No, because this is something that
Slow
happened
down.
when I was very
Okay,
young.
ma'am, listen. I said, you're basically trying to say that even though I chose to reproduce and produce a life with another man, I don't believe that it should impact my choices or my options with another man. Do you realize she didn't even take 2 seconds? Rain is tripping out here. She didn't even take 2 seconds. Didn't even sit back and think about what I said. Immediately she said no, because it happened when I was so young. And she was being very honest. There are a lot of women who really believe that it happened when I was young. I was young and dumb. Look, ladies, let me tell you something. Many of you use this reason. I was young, and go back through my videos, and you will hear women in their 50s talking about, I was young when I made these decisions. And they talk about when they're in their late 20s and 30s. Ladies, let me tell you very simply, your youth, your age at the time of your mistakes or your issues, you can't just wipe them away because you feel like you were young and it doesn't matter. It does. But okay. Do you want to have the conversation? I'll have it with you.
Yes.
How old are you?
24.
All right. So, do you have custody?
Yes, I do. I take very good care of my son.
Ma'am, ma'am.
Yes. Hmm.
So any man who deals with you, if he were to marry you, would have to, you're a package deal, right?
I mean, I guess you can say that.
There's no guess unless you're planning on giving the child away.
No. So my
So,
okay.
see, far too many of you ladies think the world should to give you. It's like, well, the world does. Listen to what I'm about to say. The world does not owe you or me understanding. That's the hardcore reality of it. When you had a child, what age were you? I don't know what happened to her. She muted herself. Unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, I had my son when I was 14, so my son is
Oh,
currently 10.
all right, ma'am. So the reality of it is, yes, ma'am, your child should have a cost. It does. And no matter how nice you are, how great your child is, it does cost you. And you need to make peace with that. Because any man who dates you is going to have to deal with a 10-year-old boy from another man. That is another. Is his father in his life at all?
Oh, he died.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear that, but the child is still another expense. He's been. I don't understand why you women feel like kids shouldn't cost you anything. That doesn't make any sense to me. But you can try to explain it to me.
Um, I mean, I can see if I had like multiple children by different men, but it's just like one.
You notice how I said you can try to explain it to me, and the first thing, well, I can see if I had multiples, but it's just one. Guys, she's 24. But there are plenty of women out here who are just like her. They feel like it's no big deal. It's only one kid because they are viewing it through their lens. And what I pointed out to her and many of these ladies is they never stop to think about the men on the other side. They're thinking like, well, I've got a house or an apartment and my kid is clothed, fed, very well taken care of. It's not really impacting my life. I can pretty much go on and do. I'm not down bad because I got a kid. I mean, I was able to go to high school and college and out doing everything else. So why wouldn't a man come in here? I mean, it's not the kid wouldn't be any bother. And you ladies don't seem to even come close to think about what a man is thinking. And I'm just talking about a man, period. But in particular, high value men. Because again, that's what most women say they want. They want men of a certain character. Or now, let me take high value out. Most women want Henrys, high earners, not rich yet. Those are different than high value. Most women want men who are in the top 15 or top 10% of earners. Just because you are there, that does not make you high value.
You know?
But you keep downplaying it like it's no big deal. It's just one. I had it when I was young. It's not a pet, ma'am. I mean, and do you have your own place?
Yes, I do.
Are you getting any kind of government assistance?
No, I don't. I've never had government assistance. Like I said, I work in IT. I provide for myself.
Well, great, ma'am. But the reality is still this. On the open dating market, there are women who have everything you have and no children. Why should a man pick, all things being equal, why should a man go pick a woman with a full person that comes with them versus making his own family? You're not looking at it from the man. You're
No,
not
I
looking at it from the
understand.
man's standpoint. You're looking at it from what you want. And far too many of you ladies not only do you not bring the value that men want at the level of the man you want them to accept a bad deal.
I guess the only deal is my kid. I have everything else.
But I guess the only thing is my kid. I got everything else. She did not listen to one thing I said, that having a child is implicitly a bad deal for another man. And instead of saying, "Damn, you're right, and how can I make this a better deal?" It's, I got everything else. I mean, I'm this, I'm that. But that's a big freaking deal. And she was trying to basically, it was it just me, but it was almost like she sounded like she was talking about almost like she just had a pet or something. Like, it's no big deal. It's just a kid. I mean, I'm thinking, lady, it's not a dog. It's a human being. And we're not talking a young child. We're talking a freaking preteen boy whose father died. Oh my God. And teenage mother, a teenage mother who has a boy and his father is dead. And she's acting like, I'm in IT. And that's what far too many of you ladies do. You start to just put stuff on top of stuff. I got this, I got that, yeah, but there's a big, big issue right here. And this is why marrying before you have a child is so important, because unlike a lot of the things that ladies do to decrease their value, a full-on person, a child is not something you can take back. All sales final here. Okay, well, here's the thing. You're 30, you're 24?
No, 24.
Well, guess what? In 8 years, he'll be 18 out of your house. Then start. But it is going to cost you. And especially, it sounds like you have a pretty nice, you have a pretty nice job?
Yeah, I work in IT.
Okay, I don't know. That means a lot of things. Okay, Barbecue Trini says this. Man, I know some baddies that are baby mamas, and that shit ain't slowed down there or dating like one bit. See, again, over here, we're grown damn men. We keep score in long-term relationships and marriages. We don't worry about dating. Dating is not the measurement. A lot of women can deal with men, get men, but they can't get a husband. See, a lot of you guys are just like, a lot of you guys think just as simply as some of these ladies do. Just because somebody will spend money on her and have sex with her, are they wifing her legally? If not, then she's just wasting time. And ladies, when you hear guys say, and when I hear guys say this kind of stuff, I'm like, we are not the same caliber of guy. We're not thinking about the same thing. I acknowledge that there are attractive women out there who have with children who can be seen with some of the most richest guys, but understand high value, especially as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't count entertainers and athletes. I don't count high value entertainers and athletes. I count people who had to make themselves. Entertainers and athletes, in my opinion, they have a completely different life. Nothing in our day-to-day lives mirrors theirs. That's why I don't talk about athletes and entertainers. But here's the thing. I'm assuming you're going to want a man who's making at least what you make or more.
Yeah, prefer an engineer.
All right. And how much would you like a man to make?
I mean, he doesn't have to be rich. I mean,
how much would you like a man to make?
80,000
exactly.
a year.
So you want a man so you want a man that's 15 out of 100. Run the numbers, engineer. You want a man that's in the top 15% of earners, and yet you want him to accept a woman with a child when he is in the top 15%, where he's in a group that all women tend to want. It affects your value, ma'am.
Most people.
Wrong, Charla. Charla says you have to date to become a wife. That's why you're unmarried. That's why so many of you ladies are unmarried. Nope. You're a wife before you start dating. That's why you guys get the whole scripture about he who findeth a wife finds a good thing. Because you don't know what you're talking about. Nice try, though. Think you know it. You just don't like it. And you cannot change it. See, what we were talking about earlier, panel, is weight. See, you can change your weight. You cannot change the fact that you have a child, and it should cost you. It should cost you a lot because a man coming in here, he's going to have to deal with you. And if he married you, he'd have to be stepfather to a fully 10-year-old plus boy.
Right.
Is he going to have full rights to discipline that child as if he was the biological father?
I mean, yeah. I mean, long as it's not abuse.
Oh, what do you mean? Okay, but see, therein lies the rub. It's always going to. It's all. But see, the thing therein lies the rub. It's always going to be your child. I've been a stepfather. It's a shitty deal.
So what?
I will say this. Here's what you do. You accept the fact that you got pregnant early.
And that's fine, right?
And so, but the thing is, until you stop being selfish and start looking at it from the man's standpoint, you can almost be assured you will never deal with a man worth a damn. Oh, yes. Listen to all these women who don't understand this in a selfish, entitled point of view. Listen to all these Christian women who don't understand how they've mangled this saying. You're a wife before you start dating? You goddamn right. You're a wife before you're married. How come so many of you be so-called Christians and not understand the very doctrine you talk about? But I get it. Far too many women think that, well, I'll open up the call line. Just admit that you don't know what's going on out here and you thought getting a husband would be as easy as getting a boyfriend. You thought that all you had to do was bring WAP to the table and that was going to be enough. You never understood what value do you bring to high value men? What value do women bring to high value men? That was this show. And what I'm seeing is a lot of you ladies, instead of asking the question in a respectful way, you're challenging with the fact of whether or not what men are talking about. We control access to marriage and relationships, not you. And he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. The implication is you're already ready to be a wife when you're found. But the problem is the women of the village and the tribe are supposed to be working with the girls from the time she's young to make her a wife. So by the time she is of marrying age and a man decides to say, I want to marry her, and steps to her father and says, I would like to marry your daughter, and the father gives the bride away to the next man, she goes from this covering to this covering. You ladies don't seem to get it. You're out here in this modern dating world and you're just out here uncovered thinking that dating leads to marriage, and no, marriage, being a wife, leads to marriage. You're not a wife. That's why you're not married. Don't mess with me. Of you, and I get it. Because you're saying, I got young, I made a mistake, and I fought through and I've made something of myself, and I'm a great person, and I have a great kid. I get it, ma'am. And all that's one, but there are women who have done all that and don't have a kid. It costs.
Introduce.
Okay, I can understand and accept that. So
I got to get to the rest of the panel.
Okay, thank you.
Joanna. See, what I need you ladies to understand is, just like her, many of you don't seem to get it. You don't understand where men are coming from or what men expect. And rightly so. The reason 1 in 4 women in our community can expect to get married is because you're not a wife. You expect, like if you go back and listen to this show, let me take it down. If you go back and listen to this show, when I ask what value do women bring to high value men? And from caller to caller to caller, every one of them started talking about the value that they believe they bring after a man had already picked them. From the first caller through the 10th caller, it was the same thing. Well, I do this, I inspire, I'm that. I'm like, and I said to the first caller, there's a problem. The presumption that someone picks you. Then the final caller, the lady from the Dominican Republic, who said, I don't understand what's wrong with so many American women. What we bring to the table is your upbringing, your culture. And then she went out and basically described how she was a 22-year-old young lady and she was a second wife, like I talk about. And her husband, then when she wasn't looking for a high value man, he found her and pursued her, not chasing her. Pursuit is different than chasing. We'll talk about that this week too. High value men pursue, low value men chase. He pursued her, put her through college and waited. And the whole thing was, and the women on the panel said, "Well, I think that's a lovely story, but the lines didn't connect. They're just like, I don't get it, because you've not been raised to be a wife. You've not been raised to be a helpmate. You've been raised to be something else. And if you want the things you say you want, you're going to have to give men what they want. And one of the things men do not want is a child from another man. In nature, when a male takes over a pride or existing females, they kill all the cubs or all of the children from previous men. Well, we can't do that in a civilized society, but that's pretty much what men are thinking anyway. Men don't want to have children, but men don't want other men's kids, ladies. So today we're going to talk about, do you ladies understand that the caliber and kind of men that so many of you say you want, these men don't want children from another man. And for the ones that do, it's going to seriously impact your value. I want to talk to the ladies and I want to ask you some questions. Do you think it should impact your value? Because far too many women said, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. And in order to get in my calls, oh, Jesus Christ, y'all are already calling in. Wait a